Hey guys, my name is Maurice Anyika Kimani from Biosoil Solutions out here in Kilifi, and welcome to today's episode, man. We're so excited to have you guys here. I was born in Kenya, raised in Kenya. I've walked away for a bit and came back home recently to begin Biosoil Solutions. So Biosoil Solutions came about because of one of the biggest hurdles we're faced with today is loss and depletion of arable land, arable soils that we can, that benefits us as a human community. There's very little land left for us to be able to grow food, for us to be able to grow our forests, for us to be able to enjoy life as we used to when I was growing up. And with that, I'm thinking of how we can bring back those days, bring back greenery, bring back nature to the forefront. And with that said, it's kind of an emergency situation where we're supposed to be growing back that soil that we have been, mining through our needs like timber, mining through our needs like food, mining through our needs like building of housing. We've always been taking, and now we're trying to figure out a way of, giving back to the earth, bringing back what we have been mining out of the earth. So Biosoil Solutions is basically that baby who's coming in and saying that, Africa has been in a situation where our soils have been depleted, and how can we come up and come together and build back our soil bank, build back the life in the soil, which is very, very important, and, create a resilient future for future generations. So we're out here in Kilifi, one of the hardest hit areas with climate change. We've had a severe drought for the last few years, and we are back on the ground trying to build back the soil and see how we're going to be more resilient to such situations in the future. So today we're going to take you around one of the projects that I'm working on right now. I'm here with an amazing company called Green Heart of Kenya. We are trying to turn exactly this scenario that you're seeing behind me and spread it along a whole stretch of almost 750 acres of regenerative land. And this is just the beginning of this project. So very excited to show you around and show you some of the simple solutions we are brainstorming, simple solutions that we've come up with for an African setting. And yeah, if you ever want to join us, please come with us, man. So yeah, this is like one of those projects we're talking about. We're here on Green Heart of Kenya land, and there's quite a huge space. You can see the tree line that is right next to the creek, and we're trying to expand that tree line further in to create a green corridor. But the first step before you can even put down trees is to make sure that your soil is at that stage where trees can be actually at home. So that's why we're doing this. This area has such a gradient that whenever it rains heavily, all the water just flows down into the creek. And we're establishing this earth smiles, or rather earth bands, to do what we call slowing down the water. Anytime that it rains, the water is going to come down into the earth bands, and it's going to, take some time there and sip down into the soil. So we are going to have more water being retained within the soil rather than all of it eroding. It's such interventions, basically, that we as humans can employ to try and slow down water, sip it into the ground, and maintain it for a longer time. And with this earth smiles, they're not just regular earth smiles, but they're earth smiles that are also lined up with tree holes. So you'd be able to see, like in one of this. This is a situation where the rain will come. We're going to plant this with cover crops of different kinds that will be nitrogen fixing, where the roots are going to be able to hold this mound so that it doesn't flow away. And then right below it is where we're going to put some trees. So all these earth smiles are going to be accompanied by at least 3 indigenous trees, to create that environment where they're able to survive and sustain for a longer time. And in the next 10-15 years, we would expect that these trees will now have created a forest. And it's just being able to grow trees. Everybody usually plants trees, but here we are trying to grow the trees, make sure that we know where the trees are planted. We can support them when the dry season comes through by either watering or mulching or doing all sorts of interventions just to be able to make sure that they survive. But yeah, this is one of those cool projects, and the community is also helping us out. All this work is being done by the community that is surrounding this area. So it's all about, you know, giving opportunities to people, educating them, because they can take this information that they're learning here to their own shambas and be able to employ such remedies for creating good soil. So, you know, we have a very small window in such situations where we have a very little rain within the year. So within that period of rain is when you have to do those things, and you have to plan yourself really, really well. So the first spring of the grasses and the shrubs and the weeds that came through is what is happening right now in terms of like cutting them and slashing them. All this good stuff is going to be used as biomass for mulching around the tree holes and creating compost and such stuff. But we are also allowing whoever is the young seedlings that were not going to get a chance are going to be able to have a chance to come back and colonize this area as well. So chop and drop is basically what we are doing. Cutting down this mass of grass is going to go into the tree holes, and it's going to be spread around here to just build that soil. All this biomass is how nature does soil building by itself. All we are doing right now is just supporting it, speeding it up a little bit faster and giving it a hand. So for this project, we were inspired by Just Dig It, who do Art Smiles, and we decided to employ this idea because it's easy to implement. It's easy for you to tell the community members and for them to understand, and it does its job well. Whenever it rains, water will come in and water will have to be stopped within this area and will settle in here. So a lot of the water that comes down here will just go into the ground and into the soil. So the trees have been done with Miyawaki style groves. So just to give our trees some support, we do a bit of a mix, right? Of microhyze, compost, and some humics. In the tree holes where the trees are going to be planted, we've borrowed a little bit of forest soil. So you'll see that the soil here has two different colors. This soil is a mix between the soil that came from the forest, which has the indigenous microorganisms within this area. So we are supporting it that way and mixing it with the soil that is on this field, and then just giving it a boost of compost, organic compost. You can reach us on Biosoil Solutions Instagram page. That's usually the best place to find me. Many other things we do are composting, different types of composting, both thermophilic and static, all kinds of different composting we can do for you. We like holistic yard management, where you want indigenous trees, you want fruit trees in your yard, permaculture style, anything. Link us up. We're here for you, man.